Hi Capricorn, welcome to your 2018 Astro-Tarot forecast. My name is Charlotte from astrology.com, and before we get into the cards, I'm going to give you a bit of an astrological synopsis for the year. I do want to remind you that the stars are a map of consciousness. This is energy that we can really, or information about energy that we can really depend upon, we can count on as we look up to the stars. We can begin to understand how different energies are going to affect our lives, what energies are coming in for us with different opportunities even. And when I get into the cards, this is more about looking at a reflection of consciousness, a reflection of the collective consciousness for Capricorn, since this is a general reading. Now, Saturn moved into Capricorn in December, and this has really brought a lot of pressure for you to be responsible for your own actions, to be an individual, to be more independent. It's like all of the pressure is on you to make the decisions, to do the work. And you're really going to be able to redefine who you are and how you handle these responsibilities. It's like all of a sudden, the ball has been put in your court, and what are you going to do with it? With Saturn in Capricorn, it's really going to go back and redefine how you use your personal power, because for the last decade you have hosted Pluto in Capricorn, and it's still there. It's not going anywhere until 2024. And Pluto is a very destructive but also transformative energy. And so during the last decade, you may have felt a lot of push and pull with different partners and parents. There may have times seemed to be a battle of the wills constantly. You may have had to face subjects like sexuality, sexual crimes, investigation, sneaky behavior. And you may have exhibited these behaviors yourself with Pluto there. Pluto may have made you crave power in some way and crave to put your life, in a place where you could control it all. Because lots of times when we host Pluto in the 12th, which is what happened prior to 2008, when it was in Sagittarius, you may have felt like your life was out of control. So with Pluto in Capricorn, you kind of feel like you have had some control, or you may have felt like you've had to battle your way to control and you're feeling empowered. But with Saturn moving in there, Saturn says, okay, you got some power. What do you want to do with it now? And now it's up to you. It's up to you to get the job. It's up to you to take care of the baby. It's up to you to make all of the bills work out, to budget and plan and to save. And so this is really an opportunity, but at first it may feel a bit heavy. It will be in your sign. Saturn will be in your sign for 2.5 years. This year, in 2018, I believe that Saturn's entry into Capricorn is going to have a little bit of a cushion, because Jupiter is going to be in Scorpio in your 11th house. So I feel like you're going to have plenty of people to help you. There are going to be groups that are resources that can help you out. So you'll have about till September, October time frame to really work out those matters. And I would suggest that you use it wisely. Reach out to whoever you can to help support you in your role of responsibility, to learn from others. That's going to be important, Capricorn. And to not, offer a know-it-all stance. You want to really gather resources and information from other people so that you can really get set for the next 2.5 years. So, once Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, it may be a different story. You may really begin to feel more responsibility and feel, kind of alone if you haven't gathered your resources by this fall. Now, in the first part of the year, there's a lunar eclipse in Leo. This is going to take place in your 8th house. And then there is a solar eclipse following it, February the 15th, in Aquarius at 27 degrees. And this is in your 2nd house. So I see one ending of a financial resource there at the end of January going into February. And then a new one beginning from February the 15th in your 2nd house of income. So some of you may have been receiving money from other people, and now you're going to need to get a job. Because the 2nd house is about money that you work hard for. Now, there is going to be a bit of a shakeup this year, but I feel like it's something exciting happening to you because it's going to work well with you. Uranus, the planet of surprises, electricity, things that just fall out of the sky, has been in Aries. And this has really affected your home life for the past 8 years. You may have changed different homes, moved different places, felt uneasy, even unsafe at times in your home. And now Uranus is moving into Taurus, into your 5th house. This is going to send a beautiful trine to your sun, and I feel like you're going to be able to do something great with it. Although when Uranus enters Taurus in May, Capricorn, Mars will be moving into Aquarius in your 2nd house. I feel like you're going to have to get a job or something. And so for some of you, this is going to be like, you're getting a job and you're still worried about your child at home or not wanting to leave the child. And there could be, certain upsets with the child, and you may need to go back and forth. But with Uranus in Taurus blending beautifully with the Saturn in Capricorn, I feel like you are going to have the support this year to really go in and work. And you're going to get through any bumps. Say you're a young mother and you have a young child and you're going to work and you're having to leave your child with other people. It's going to work out okay. But in the month of May, that might be a bumpy spot, because not only will Mars enter Aquarius and square Uranus in Taurus, Mars is going to be in Aquarius for 5 months. Now, Mars doesn't generally transit a sign that long, but because Mars is going to experience a retrograde in Aquarius, this is going to leave Mars transiting Aquarius for 5 months. And this tells me that you are going to be working hard for the money. Some of you may be starting and stopping jobs, or perhaps you've gotten a job and then you have to make a transition for a job somewhere probably between May and August. The Mars retrograde is going to take place June the 26th to August the 27th. And during that time, there are going to be 3 eclipses. So while you're reviewing all of the ways that you can make money and how you spend money, there's a solar eclipse July the 12th in Cancer. This is taking place in your relationship sector with parents and partners. So there is a new beginning there, but it's followed up by a lunar eclipse July the 27th in Aquarius in your 2nd house of income. So for some of you, this is like a new beginning with your relationships, but it's also an ending for perhaps a certain way that you made money. So again, some of you, it looks like, are really trying to redefine your relationships while looking for new resources of income. There's a solar eclipse August 11th in Leo. This takes place in your 8th house. So again, we have an ending of money, and then we have a beginning. Perhaps your partner is going to get a job, and now you are going to be the housewife or the homemaker. Or if you're a male Capricorn, this could be the same thing. Your partner may need to transition into a new career field, and you may have to wait a while before you can find new employment. Now, Venus is going to retrograde in Sagittarius towards the end of the year, November into December. And this is going to highlight your 12th house into your 11th house. So there may be some secrets come out for you, Capricorn. So watch out for that. During this time also, you really want to watch any health problems that may arise. It could be something that you had faced before and now it comes back up again. Towards the end of the year, there is a Venus retrograde in Scorpio. And this is going to really highlight your 11th house. So you could have a falling out with some friends. You could reconnect with some people that you had been in contact with before. This is more about groups of people, though, and friendships. And then Mercury is going to retrograde in Sagittarius and down into Scorpio around the same time. And the reason I'm including this Mercury retrograde and not all the others that are taking place in this year is because I feel like that Mercury retrograde and the Venus retrograde are working together. And this is really going to highlight your 12th and 11th house. So be careful if you're working with others in the medical field. Some of you may really need to readdress some health issues there. And if so, you may have to contact some other people. And it seems to be a lot of miscommunication there. So watch out for that towards the end of the year. Now we're going to take a look at the cards now and see what the cards have to say about the year. So I feel like there could be a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus in your life, or perhaps you are this person if you are a Capricorn female and you're over the age of 25. If not, if you're a younger Capricorn, This could be a female that is around you. And I feel like this female is connected to a lot of things that you have going on in your life. But I feel like it's been, you know, sort of a heavy load with this person. Like you're trying to work together as a group, but it's just not really coming out that way. And you're having to like step forward and step back. And it's kind of a stressful matter, I think, for some of you. So for some of you, you feel, you know, kind of overburdened. Perhaps even some of you feel betrayed by this energy. For those of you that are pregnant, I feel like there's going to be a sense of stress involved, probably in the month of February, could be into March. And I feel like this is about you needing to have patience, needing to really balance the stresses that you have around you in some way. I feel like you need to see other people's viewpoints, and you need to take a better look in the mirror, because there's something here that you're not seeing pertaining to love. And it's like, I just heard like the saying, like, you know, a tiger can't change his stripes. And I have the zebra here, and I guess the same applies here. But I feel like this is more of a spiritual influence, like something new is coming in. There's a change that's coming in. There's a change where you're going to realize a hard lesson that you're having to face. And I feel like it involves groups of people that you've been in contact with. And I feel like you haven't always seen other people's points of view. But in the future, you're going to begin to understand how some of those lessons could work out. For some of you, I feel like you're not getting everything that you want in life. You're not feeling like the Empress here. You're not feeling like, you know, you really have all of the finer things in life. I think some of you, this could be experiencing negativities in relation to your children, or in relation to other people that are surrounding your children even. And we'll go back and clarify that situation in a little while. But I get this intense feeling of really sort of having to toe the line here, because you didn't get a lesson that came in before. And but it's kind of like, never mind now, because you're going to go into the future and you are going to be successful with your career, I can see, by the end of the year. I think the middle of the year, when we talked about those eclipses coming that are really going to affect your financial sector and affect your relationships, I feel like that is when a change is coming regarding your career field or your partner's career field. I feel like some of you need to look inside yourself. Some of you, you know, by the middle of the year into the end of the year, probably the fall time frame, are really going to be feeling a lot of anxiety and worry. You know, almost like you want to withdraw again. You want to withdraw from other people. And it's almost like you are constantly on this cycle of coming out and showing one face and going back in, because who you're presenting to other people is not necessarily who you are. I feel like inside you're kind of hiding a lot of anxieties, a lot of stress. And I don't think you're really showing your personality either, because you think other people would not accept it, or because you've learned how to manipulate people into thinking that you're okay, that your life's okay, that your mental health status is okay. Now, before we get into the rest of the year, I'm going to go ahead and start clarifying here. If you have a very fiery male, someone who doesn't mind planning for the future, who's very passionate, very outspoken around you, this could be a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, and this could have really affected his presence, and you feeling betrayed and having a lot of anxiety about this person could have really affected how you were proceeding into the year. So this could also be a father figure. It could be a lawyer. I feel like you feel betrayed by a group of people, though, especially in regard to children, or if you're a younger Capricorn, this falls on you. And I feel like some of you have taken off on a course, again, where you didn't learn your lesson with other people. And, you know, you just full-heartedly rushed into a situation because of a lack of adaptation. It's being unable or unwilling to be responsible. And now Capricorn has moved into your sign, and it's like, you know, again, toe the line. You have to. You don't have a choice this time, because it's like you're running out of options. And I do think you still have some options this year with people to help you, perhaps internships, getting jobs where people are willing to, you know, help you learn the ropes, so to speak, to really find a new skill set. But here we have the Emperor on top of the Empress. And when I see this, I think about a power couple, or I think about parents, your parents even. And in this case, the Empress is reversed and the Emperor is right side up. And this balance situation, and you know, being stressed, and it's like you're offering your love here with this situation, but you're also taking a back seat and you're not standing up for whoever that you need to stand up for, whether that's yourself or someone else. And then here we have Justice, and this is saying justice will be served. And then we have the Empress reversed and the Emperor upright. And so I do feel like that if you're in a legal battle, this could be favoring a male influence. The decisions and justice decisions could work out for the male versus the female, if this is your parents or this is you and your partner in a legal battle. If you are a female Capricorn, I would probably be looking for a better lawyer. I do feel like you're going to have some success, though, in relation to finances or, you know, career concerning this matter. Because we have 2 cards of victory here. I just feel like it's going to be a slow process. It's kind of like a never-ending process. And but I do feel like there's going to be a small victory here that is going to allow you to come out of some of the anxiety. But I feel like, you know, it's such a mixed bag here for you, Capricorn. It's like you're coming out and you're going in. You're coming out and you're going back in. And I'm sorry, but this seems like it's behavior that's typical of someone trying to manipulate a situation. Now, I don't know if you're doing that or other people are doing that. But someone is. Someone is not showing who they are for whatever reason. And all of this anxiety that's coming from the second part of the year, I feel like you're going to have victory regarding some type of monetary matter, whether this is child support or this is small payouts from a job. But I feel like you have anxiety about it. But the truth is going to come forward and things are going to change here. You do have the tools. There is a new opportunity probably from July into December. In the second half of the year, you're going to be able to make your own money. You're going to find a new opportunity to make money. The Queen of Pentacles here is on top of the Justice card also. This could be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Female, if this is you and you're a female, you are coming out on top of this situation. If you know an older female who has Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo in their chart, that's a prominent sign in their chart, this could be them. Yeah, I feel like there's a reversal of a heartbreak here. Like before, there was something here that was just so disruptive. Someone just didn't see things clearly and rushed into making these decisions. And it has left, you know, your world kind of, I feel like, financially unstable. Some of you are going to be going back to school. And some of you are going to be looking for a reprieve from a financial situation and going back to school. But I feel like there's a Tower moment. It's like there's some sort of obstacle that comes up regarding this legal situation, the truth coming out, and certain aspects related to mother and father figures, whether this is you and your spouse. But there's something here that's reaching a culmination by the middle of the year, and I think that that is going to be July, August time frame. So whatever happens with that situation and the truth coming out there, I feel like this is definitely about motherhood and nurturing and having to take a defensive posture. And the sign of Leo is here. So if you have a Leo mother even, she could be taking, or Leo sibling, she could be taking a defensive posture because of whatever truth this is that is coming out. And I feel like someone is going to try to slink away from the situation. They're going to want out of the situation. But that truth is going to come forward. And by the end of the year, you have the Ace of Cups here. This is a beautiful new offering for you. Could be from a relationship, let's see. But I feel like this is about making more money and getting your wish even. And I feel like you're offering something to someone else, perhaps an Aquarius figure here, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. The High Priestess is here. There's something you don't know, and I feel that all the way through this reading, and I kind of feel your anxiety here. It's like there's some legal figures here that aren't, they're just looking for money and not the truth. That is the feeling that I get. So I don't know if there's an unfair judgment that's going on here from the middle of the year. And in the beginning of the year, you're really trying to plan for the future, and you're trying to do all these things with children. And you're stressed because of the people around you and different conflicts around you. And you're regretting certain decisions that you have made, and you're trying to avoid disaster. You're trying to overcome a heartbreaking situation that you have been involved in, perhaps with parents and partners. But it's like no one, there's so much, it's like people are doing an eye for an eye here. And so, yeah, this person wins this and this person wins this. The only ones that are really making off here are the lawyers, I think. Nevertheless, there is going to be an offer of love or money or an extension by this Aquarius, Libra, Gemini female here. And she likes the truth, and she doesn't mince words. And so it could be that, you know, you're still butting heads with this person, though, by the end of the year. Because I feel like, you know, you've tried everything by the end of the year, and there just isn't going to be headway made. You just haven't gotten what you wanted, because it's almost like you've been led through all of these legal illusions where you thought you were going to win certain things, and then at times you did, but then someone else got a different lawyer and they went to court, and now things are changing. I feel like you're going to have some career accolades over the year, and I feel like some of you are going to go back to school, but it's going to require hard work, and you're going to have to communicate on a daily basis. And for some of you, I feel like either you weren't ready to go back to school, and so, or go to college, and this is going to be a problem because of certain situations that are coming up towards the end of the year. Yeah, this is definitely relationship dynamics with family here, and that's what I kind of got with the mother and father here. And I also know many Capricorns also who are dealing with this kind of drama. So you're not alone. But this is, it's like this lasts all year. What a shame, you know? Yeah, I think there's this truth is coming out, and it's like you make a decision for whatever the right side of the truth is. So if you're trying to bring an air sign female back into your life, I think you have to, you know, keep trying. I feel like you're offering, it's your wish to offer this person something because maybe you feel like, you know, you feel bad about all of this family drama. But I also feel like some of you are just trying to manipulate a situation because things didn't work out in your favor. And somebody, you know, there's somebody trying to get someone to come off the money here. And the situation by the end of the year is that you have to stand on your own 2 feet. So if you've been trying to get income from someone and putting all your hopes and dreams on some type of court case or something, like everything's going to be straightened out, that's not the way it's going to be straightened out. The way that your finances are going to become stable, Capricorn, is if you stand on your own 2 feet and take the responsibility. I know it's hard. I know it's not any fun. You know, I know it's hard to change your lifestyle when you're used to someone taking care of you or being a dependent person in a relationship. And you would prefer, I think some of you, especially if you're a female Capricorn, to not deal with things like that. And some of you are just wanting to stay home with your child, and you're really enjoying that. Is the good thing that's happening this year, is you taking care of your child. But it's saying by the end of the year, I mean, you're really going to have to pick up some employment, I think, because you're changing healthcare resources, you're changing your income sources, money you get from other people, and I feel like it's all happening because of legal situations. But this is saying, you know, keep the faith, whatever the situation is that you're working on over here with this air sign female. There's something here that you're trying, it's a hope that you're holding on to, a hope to reconcile or offer love with this person. And I think you're going to make progress through the year, but it's going to be slow. And it may take a while to heal some old wounds, to try to heal something that has been a disaster or a shakeup that didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out. You may have been wanting one thing and then all of this disaster happened. You're like, why did that happen? Like, why did I even go through all this effort just to have certain situations fall apart? And I think it's, you know, this message may not be for everybody, but I'm getting a shakeup, especially mid-year. And I think it's another one of those moments like, wow, how did we get to here? So what I would suggest to you from this reading, Capricorn, is to really look at the family dynamics in the first part of the year. Think about how you're going to plan a divorce out, or if this is your parents, think about not getting involved in that situation. Think about, you know, finding your own true identity and finding a stable identity within yourself that people can depend on, because I feel like you're showing all these different parts of yourself to people, and people are just kind of, they're wanting to help you, but it's like they can't trust you in some way. So I think you do have some decisions to make, and I don't think you're going to have, you know, I think this recovery period for you is going to take a while. Look at your health for the year. Then we're going to go. Yeah, this is saying stay positive, and then we have a couple of cards of keep the faith. So I think you're going to get a lot of joy in just, you know, taking care of your child, taking care of your pets, nurturing yourself. I think you're going to have to listen to your body. Some of you could have some health problems towards the end of the year. Again, I feel like this is more about emotional healing for you. Emotional healing. As you begin to, you know, take care of your own children. Some of you are going to be, let me re-summarize this. Some of you are in a relationship that you just feel so defeated in, and you want to leave it, and you want to get a divorce, and you want to move on. You're worried this legal battle may take a while. You're worried about whether your child is going to have visitation rights with this person. Others of you are trying to find, you're having a baby, you're trying to find people around you that can support you, and you're trying to find your own source of income, and maybe you've been dependent on one of your parents, and now we have a legal battle, and now that's not going to happen anymore. Some of you may be a parent who has been a stay-at-home mom or dad for some time, and now you're having to find, you know, new avenues of income, and maybe your job is stressful and you're feeling pulled away from your children at times. Some of you are really wanting to reconnect, or if you have error in your chart, you're wanting to be your own person. Some of you are wanting to reconnect with this person that you feel like you've missed out on. And that's going to take some time. But it's all of this is saying keep the faith. Whatever disaster, and this looks like a mess to me, Capricorn. Whatever disaster has happened, and I say that respectfully because I have a Capricorn ascendant. Whatever this disaster is that is taking place with this battle, it's like you're battling your way through the year. Luckily, Jupiter is there. There are going to be people there to support you. There are going to be shakeups with your children too that you're not going to expect this year. That's for sure. And then with Mars retrograde in Aquarius, I mean, it's like some of you, I feel like have, had maybe gotten a small job, February or March, and then July comes and it just like blows the lid off of everything. And there's just like so much stuff that you were trying to avoid, and it's coming out. It's becoming unhinged. For some of you, this is going to be, changes from July through December, even with that eclipse in Cancer in your relationships. Because that eclipse in Cancer was opposite Pluto. And there's some Neptune and Venus energy there. Some of you just aren't going to see things clearly. Your relationships are going to try to take precedence again in your life, or someone's going to try to control and manipulate you through this situation. And it's a fine line that you have to walk here. I'll tell you that. It's a fine line because it's like you need certain resources, and you're not going to make it out of this situation into 2019 successfully and with stability unless you walk this fine line. And it looks like a lot of people pleasing to me, and I hate it. I mean, it's like you want to be yourself, but whoever's around you is not going to accept you for who you are. So you're having to play these roles. Don't lose sight of yourself, Capricorn. Don't compromise too much. Money is not everything. It is not. And some of you may have to build again, and I feel like that's what you're not wanting to let go of because, you've been through so much in the last 10 years, and it's like, why did I battle through all of this stuff already? If I'm not leaving this relationship with something, if I'm not making it to the next career level, if I'm not, finding success in my life some way, why did I go through all of this stuff? Why did I put up with all of this stuff? Some of you are just really wanting your partner to love you, or your parent. And listen, guys, some people are just not going to do that. And so I think that, don't look at the cards this way. You can make choices like this, where I see you embroiled in this battle all year. Or I would say the way to go is if you're able to put your heart aside and use your head. And Capricorn can do that sometimes. If you were a Cancer, I wouldn't say so. So you got Cancer in your chart. Squish it a minute. And say, listen, I have to be my own hero here. All of this junk is just going to unfold. And in the meantime, I have got to find stability in my life and joy at the same time. I cannot depend on other people for my happiness, and I cannot depend on other people for my financial resource. If something happens and I win a lawsuit or something comes up later and they agree to, help me in some way, that's fine, but I'm not going to count on it. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet, and I'm going to be more consistent with who I am. I'm going to be the person that I want other people to be: consistent, loyal, trustworthy. But I'm going to have to leave some people behind and get into a position where I can do that for my child, where I can do that for my own inner child, for my own happiness and my own joy. And I have to keep the faith that life is going to get better. Guys, Pluto's not going to be in Capricorn forever. 2024 is coming, and I'm telling you, next year, 2019, I told one of the other signs, next year, and I'm sitting here doing this, God willing, this is going to be a more serious story because we're racing towards the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in your sign that's going to come up in 2019, 2020. January the 12th, 2020 is the exact day, but you're going to feel all the stress of that before then because it never happens right on the exact conjunction. It happens in the climb, the 2-degree climb to the conjunction. So 2019, serious. How bad do you want it, Capricorn? You know, if you've got people around you, some of you just can't see the people that you have around you that are no good for you. Or you see it and you can't get away from them. Because there's a lesson you haven't learned. I could sit here all day and talk about this. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. But I'm feeling so pressed to talk to you this morning about how to do that. And I think it all comes down to your own ethical and moral conduct. Are you willing to screw people over to get what you want? Because that's not the right way. I know you'd like to fight fire with fire, but it's not the right way. And karma is going to get you. And right now you have the Lord of Karma in your sign, so don't do that. You've got to find this way through your own strength. You know, you've got to find your own strength in the next 2.5 years because you're going to need it. Late 2019 into 2020, the world is going to need it because the world is going to be experiencing huge changes. You know, you can Google Pluto-Saturn conjunction, or you can look at my website. I've written a small article on there. I'd like to write a more in-depth article, but it really talks about the times that Pluto has conjuncted Saturn or squared or opposed it in the past, and it usually ends with a depression, world war, or string of diseases. I think there are going to be a lot of diseases affecting children this time. I think that, you know, people are going to find out that there are hidden diseases that are going to come forward, that they've been labeled all of these different things that are going to come out as, you know, relating to one virus, perhaps even affecting the nervous system. So there are going to be major things on the world front coming out. Even earthquakes, I think. Changes in the earth. If not earthquakes, this is really talking about, since Uranus has moved into Taurus and is trining that Saturn in Capricorn, there's going to be big changes happening for people in climate, I think. Right now we're in a different solar cycle. And our climate is going to be changing for a little while. So, the reason I'm getting off on this subject is because there are going to be a lot of components of change around you. And your life is going to be such that you need to be stable. Because those two planets, and those are heavy, heavy planets, Saturn and Pluto, are in your sign. For a lot of you, this means the ball is in your court. How are you going to treat other people? Are you going to help them? Are you going to destroy everything around you just to get what you want? Can't be that way either, can it? At the same time, protect your children, protect your home, protect your family, keep it safe. And that's what I think at the end of the day. I'm willing to help anyone, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, my home, my family, my children. And we have been working through, you know, a lot of controlling figures in our lives. And I know we're going to get past it, Capricorn. It's going to happen, but be comfortable. Be ethically and morally comfortable in how you make this exit if you're leaving a relationship or people behind in your life. And I guess that's what I have to say, because I feel like 2018 for you is a transition period with a lot of ups and downs, but you're going to get through it. Stay positive, stay focused, have faith. Be an individual, be independent, get your own money, work hard. So until next time, Capricorn, take care.